Shut up and sit down.
Hey, I'm Simon.
I'm Ellie.
And we're having a couple of drinks tonight that are called...
Golden Ticket.
Golden Tickets. And why are they called Golden Tickets?
Because they're going to take us to wonderful places.
Yes!
And hopefully not kill any children.
Oh my goodness. You took that to a pretty dark place.
Oh, yeah.
Man, well, we hope you're not in a dark place doing anything to children. But if you like us, for whatever reason, you weird people, then please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell thing over next to that golden ticket. But for now, we're having a couple of these golden tickets and surprising each other with movie trailers that the other person has not yet seen.
So what do we have next?
Well, so we've already seen the first two kind of teasers for RRR, and that's a movie from SS Rajamouli that's coming out in October 2021, and it's SS Rajamouli, in case you missed it, was the director and writer of Bahubali 1 and 2, two of the most successful Indian movies ever. And RRR tells the story of two historical Indian freedom fighters, Bheem and Ramaraju, and it may be telling the story of them in some blank spaces in their lives where we don't historically know what they were up to. And I think it's going to tell the historically accurate version of their lives and give SS Rajamouli the ability to be creative with that space where we don't know what happened to these characters. Hopefully have them meet somewhere and collaborate on their fight for India's freedom. Ramaraju in a little teaser trailer to give us a hint as to what to expect from that character. And the last one in this series at the moment is Ramaraju for Bheem, where Ramaraju introduces Bheem. And I'm really intrigued to see where this one goes. Ramaraju was covered in fire. He was the hero of the jungle, shooting arrows through a dummy's head and fighting for India's freedom. I don't know anything about Bheem at this moment. Well, I actually do. I did some research and I'll talk about it afterwards. But I'm really intrigued to see what SS Rajamouli has got for us in Bheem. So we're going to check out the trailer now for the very first time. Hang around until the end. We'll let you know what we think about it.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Got the water.
Yeah, I was just going to say, there's the water. Oh, I love the scenery.
But the other one was of the forest. Now he's
వాడు
in the
కనపడితే
forest.
సముద్రాలు తడబడతాయి.
Oh, nice. Oh.
నిలబడితే సామ్రాజ్యాలు సాగిలపడతాయి.
Wow.
వాడి పొగరు ఎగిరే జెండా. వాడి ధైర్యం చీకట్లని చీల్చే మండుటెండ.
Oh my
వాడి
goodness.
భూతల్లి చనుబాలు తాగిన మన్య ముత్తు బిడ్డ. నా తమ్ముడు
Oh, nice.
గోండు బెబ్బులి.
Oh my god.
కొమురం భీం.
Oh, wow. Oh, nice. So before we even get into what we think of the trailer, so Komaram Bheem was a resistance fighter about 20 years after Ramaraju, actually, and he was fighting for the freedom of Hyderabad. And Hyderabad was under this kind of feudal landlord rule by the Nizams. And Komaram Bheem fought against the Nizams. He created an armed militia to fight them and free Hyderabad, the whole Hyderabad region, and he really just fought until his last breath. And he's actually regarded as a deity by the Gond Adivasi people, and his life, his death, his fight is still celebrated today as a holiday amongst those people.
Whoa.
Yeah. So that kind of gives us some context as to where he comes from. Like Ramaraju, he's kind of come out of a tribal people to rise up and fight these oppressors and tyranny and free a part of India that he loves. And, I think that kind of comes through loud and clear in his part of the trailer. But before I start gushing about it, what did you think of it?
I really loved how elemental it was, how he was also of the forest, and yet it was presented as he was the pampered one of the forest. And I kind of like that.
What made you think he was the pampered one of the forest?
Because the voiceover said
Oh, okay.
he was the pampered son of the forest.
I was too distracted by
Spoiled,
the
yeah.
imagery that I didn't read half of the subtitles. I'm sorry.
And then, but he's also of the oceans and the water. And I really like the imagery of him throwing that wet spear, and then it shatters the fiery coconut thing.
Yes. I also love, there was a point where he was stood on the rock and the wave, the massive wave comes crashing over. And, if you ever doubted the power of water, just seeing that wave, there is the power of water right there. What fire is going to stand against that kind of power? So I loved how, like you said, how elemental that was. What really, really struck me with Bheem, though, was the end of the trailer, where it's very violent, it's very aggressive. There's that cart that's on fire that flips over. And he's running through the forest, and he's got a spear, just aggressive all the way through. And then him stepping onto that mountaintop in his traditional garb. And it's just peace.
Yes.
Peace just resonated in that scene.
Calm.
Yeah.
And control.
Exactly. And I think, that is a really interesting message, that you can be powerful and you can be aggressive when you need to be, but you can also have inner peace. I thought that really resonated. And, that just says to me, S.S. Rajamouli's power as a storyteller and as a director. And I said this in our last video, that I think we've seen with Bahubali that he tells really intricate stories that can take historical fact, they can kind of blend in almost kind of a supernatural element or a spiritual element, but weave the two together with a form of genius. But at the same time, you've got that storyline that kind of drives the movie, and you've got his directorial skill with the visuals that he brings as well. And I'm just fascinated to see what he does here, just with everything from the scenery to the characters to the elements, just bringing all of those together in just a spectacular visual style. I'm, absolutely stoked to see what he does with this one.
Yeah, this looks incredible.
Yeah, well, there you go. So we've checked out the motion poster, which was, limited in what it told you, but very powerful in the images that it gave you. Then we've watched the Ramaraju video. Now we've seen Bheem, we've seen fire, and we've seen water. We've seen them both combine to free India from tyranny. And, we're clearly British. You probably noticed from the accents.
Sorry.
Yeah, we're not big fans of the British Raj ourselves. We're kind of ashamed of that part of history. But we can absolutely get behind any people who are fighting against tyranny and oppression. And looking at the way he's kind of taking these historical heroes and making them look like superheroes. They look powerful and just almost superhuman in their abilities. I'm just, I'm amazed to see what he's done just in the trailers. And these are really just kind of introductory teasers. We haven't even seen a full story trailer at this point. So
Can't wait to see the trailer.
Exactly. And it's just October. That's going to be here before we know it. So, yes, we are 100% behind RRR, I think.
So much.
Well, there you go, friends. Two happy nerds. Thank you so much for suggesting RRR to the lot of people who mentioned it to us.
So many.
And we will see you next time, because we do this
Every day.
every day. Well, in that case, we'll see you tomorrow, friends, on the next Drunk Trailer Ambush.
Peace out, nerds.
Bye.
Shut up and sit down.